Let us continue our discussion on number systems. We'll start with one example. The solution to this quadratic equation x square minus 21x plus 104 is equal to 0 are x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 8. What is the base? Okay, so that is the question. I suggest you to please try it yourself first and then you can check your answer. All right. So let me show the solution. If you have an equation, quadratic equation with solutions x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 8, that equation will be simply x minus 5 into x minus 8 is equal to 0, right? So that equation will be x square minus 5 plus 8 into x plus 5 into 8. Okay. So if you now look at these two equations, it is clear to us that whatever is this base, in that base, 5 plus 8 should be 2, 1, and 5 into 8 should be 104. Okay, so whatever is the base, 21 in that base will be simply, let us say the base is b, then 21 in that base will be 2 into b to the power of 1 plus 1 into b to the power of 0, right? Like the polynomial expansion. So 5 plus 8 is equal to 2 into b to the power of 1. So this is 21, right? This is 40. Sorry, this is 1, 0, 4. So 2 into b to the power of 1 plus 1 into b to the power of 0 should be equal to 5 plus 8, which is 13. So this is going to give me the value of base, which is equal to 6. I can verify this because I have one more equation. 5 into 8, which should be 40, is 104 in this base 6. Okay, I can check whether it is holding or not. 104 in base 6 is 4 into 640 plus 0 into 641 plus 1 into 6 square. That is 36 plus 4, which is equal to 40. Okay, so the answer is 6. Okay, so this is a slide that we have seen in the last class, where we have said that the n bits can represent values from 0 to 2 to the power of n minus 1. Right? So for 16 bits, we said it will be from 0 to 65,535. For 4 bits, it will be from 0 to 7, right? 2 to the power of, sorry, for 4 bits, it will be from 0 to 15. 2 to the power of 4 minus 1, which is 15 minus 1, which is 15. Okay, so this is for unsigned numbers. So if you have negative numbers and you have n bits, and if you want to use these n bits to show some negative number, what will be the largest magnitude possible? It will be minus 2 to the power of n minus 1. Right? For positive number, if it's a positive number, we said it is from 0 to plus 2 to the power of n minus 1. For negative numbers, it will be 2 to the power of n minus 1. But then, when you're representing a negative number and a positive number, both negative numbers and positive numbers with only n bits, then how do you differentiate between two values with same magnitude? So for example, how do I differentiate between minus 7 and plus 7? So what they do is, out of this n bits, 1 bit is reserved for telling us what is the sign of the number. 1 bit is used for sign. Okay, and therefore you are now left with n minus 1 bit to represent the magnitude, right? So the n minus 1 bit. So if you have 0, A0, A1, and so on up to A n minus 2, A n minus 1. These are my n bits. So out of these, n minus 1 bits are for magnitude. This will be for sign. Okay. So therefore, when you have n bits, only n minus 1 are for magnitude, and therefore the range will be from minus 2 to the power of n minus 1 to plus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. Okay, because 1 bit is used up for sign. All right. So there are 3 different ways to represent negative numbers, which is commonly, these 3 are commonly known. These three methods are, first one is sign magnitude method. Second one is called as 1's complement method. Third one is called as 2's complement method. So a negative number can be represented in three ways: sign magnitude representation, 1's complement representation, 2's complement representation. And each of them have their own relative merits and demerits. And it turns out that 2's complement is the best one. Okay, we will see why. Note that for both sign magnitude and 1's complement, as I have told earlier, the range is from minus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1 to plus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. Okay. And there is one more thing which is common between these two representations. That is that there are two representations for 0 as minus 0 and plus 0. We will come to this soon. On the other hand, for 2's complement, the range is from minus 2 to the power of n minus 1 to plus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. So for positive integers, you can see that for positive integers, the range is same for all the three methods, right? 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. Okay, for all three methods, positive range is okay. Negative range is where the difference is coming. Okay, and that comes mainly because in 2's complement representation, there is only one representation for 0 as plus 0. Okay, we'll try to understand this in more detail. Another thing that is common to all of them is that in each of these methods, the leftmost bit is 0. So that is the convention. Leftmost bit is 0 for positive numbers and 1 for negative numbers. All right. So this leftmost bit, which I am saying, is going to be used as sign bit. So this will be, if this is 0, then this magnitude is a positive value, and if this is 1, then this magnitude is a negative value. That is how these representations are done as a convention. Okay. One more point to remember is, we will come to the arithmetic operations later, but I am saying this upfront because this has to be kept in mind before we start this. So if during an arithmetic operation, the result falls outside the range of any representation, it is termed as an overflow. All right. So initially we will take up examples where there is no overflow. Later we will see how the overflow is effective. So what this statement is telling you is that, suppose you have 4-bit representation, and there are and you want to add two 4-bit numbers. Okay, so let us say you want to add plus 6 and plus 7. Okay, so what is the value going to be? 13, right? So 13 is out of range. So what is the maximum range for 4-bit number in any of these representations? The maximum value is 2 to the power of 4 minus 1 minus 1, which is 2 to the power of, which is 8 minus 1, which is 7, right? So the maximum number that you can represent is plus 7, while your arithmetic operation is supposed to give you plus 13. So you cannot really represent this large number in this form. So therefore, what you say is an overflow has occurred, and whatever value you get, it will be an error. It's a wrong value. Okay, so we will take up examples where this doesn't occur first, and then we will move later to overflow in more detail. With that in mind, let us now try to understand each of these methods. First, we start with sign and magnitude representation of negative number, or sign and magnitude representation of any number. So in an n-bit system, 1 bit is used up for representing the sign, which we already know. The rest of the n minus 1 bits are left for representing the magnitude, which also we already know. With n minus 1 bits, the magnitude can be from 0 to 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. This is my representation. 0 to a0 to an minus 1. This an minus 1 bit is sign bit, that is the nth bit is sign. Rest of them are for magnitude. Therefore, the range is from minus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1 to plus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. Here is an example for sign and magnitude representation. 1 bit, the leftmost bit, if it is 0, like all these numbers, it is a positive number. When it is 1, when the leftmost bit is 1, then it is negative number. Okay, so take any number, 0, 1, 1. Okay, plus 3. We know that this represents plus 3 because the first bit is 0. Minus 3 will be simply Magnitude is same, so simply the bits will remain, the magnitude bits will remain the same. Only the sign bit will change. Okay, sign bit is 1. When your sign bit is 1, it is -3. When it is 0, it is +3. Okay. So what is the drawback then? The drawback is there are two different patterns to represent 0. That means one bit pattern is not being utilized. Right? For example, as is shown here for a 4-bit case. For 0, 1 0 0 0 is also 0. 0 0 0 0 is also 0. Okay. What is the difference? This bit is either 1 or 0. 1 for negative numbers and 0 for positive numbers. So +0 or -0 really doesn't matter, right? Both are same. So you just need 1-bit pattern ideally, but you're using 2-bit pattern. Okay, so 2-bit patterns are used, and so that is a loss, right? I could have used this to represent some other number, so that my range will be higher. Okay, so that is a drawback in this sign magnitude representation. Okay, so let us look at 1's complement representation. In this case, the positive number is same as that of the sign magnitude representation. There is no change. On the other hand, a negative number minus n is represented by the 1's complement of n, which is denoted by n prime. Okay, so minus n is equal to 1's complement of n. You take n, take its 1's complement. That is the representation for minus n. Okay, so what is 1's complement? By definition, 1's complement for an n-bit system, for an n-bit number, is n prime is equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus n. Okay, that is the definition. Now we know that 2 to the power of n minus 1 consists of all 1s, right? So for example, if you take 4-bit system, sorry, a 4-bit system, so the magnitude will be from, if you are looking at positive numbers, it will be from 0 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 1, right? So what is this 1 1 1 1? 2 to the power of 4 minus 1, right? 15, right? So when you take 2 to the power of n minus 1, you will have all 1, like here. Okay, so 2 to the power of n minus 1 consists of all 1. Subtracting a bit from 1 is same as complementing the bit, which is also very easy to see, right? If you subtract 0 from 1, you get 1, right? Which is the complement of 0. If you subtract 1 from 1, you get 0, which is the complement of 1. So subtracting a bit from 1 is same as complementing the bit. Now what are you doing? To take the 1's complement, what are you doing? You are taking 2 to the power of n minus 1, which is all 1. And then from that you are subtracting your number, whatever is your number, A, B, C, D. Let us say your number is something like this. Okay, so you are basically doing this subtraction bit by bit, right? So when you are doing this bit by bit subtraction from 1, what are you going to get? You're going to get the complements of each of these bits, right? Z complement, D complement, C complement, C complement, A complement, right? So basically, when you are taking the 1's complement of this number, all you are going to do is simply complement each of the bits. You will get the 1's complement. Okay, so 1's complement of a number n is obtained by complementing n bit by bit. So it's a very easy operation. So what is your circuit then? If you want to take 1's complement, all I need is an inverter, right? So the circuit for getting 1's complement is a very simple circuit. Okay, so if my n-bit number is A, B, C, and so on, all I need is a set of inverters. How many inverters? N-bit number, right? So I need n inverters. I will get A dash, B dash, C dash, and so on. Okay, so circuit is very easy. Now let us look at 1's complement representation for n is equal to 4. Positive number is same as that of sign magnitude representation, so there is no change. 0 0 0 0 is +0 and so on. What about the negative numbers then? Negative number will be take individual bit complement, right? So 1 1 1 1 will be -0. Okay, which is nothing but 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus n, 2 to the power of 4 minus 1 minus 0, which is 1, 1, 1. All right. So positive numbers, as I said, are same. 0, 0, 0, 1 is plus 1. So the ones complement representation of minus 1 is 1, 1, 1, 0. Okay. If I take any other number, let us say plus 5. Plus 5 is what? 0, 1, 0, 1. Right. So minus 5 representation will be one's complement of this, which is 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay. So this 1 is indicating that it's a negative number. And if I want to know what is the positive value here, I just have to complement these numbers, right? So 0, 1, 0 is what I'm left with here. The complement of that will be 1, 0, 1, which is 5. Okay, so this will be minus 5. So very simple to understand, easy operation. Okay, so these are the negative numbers, minus 0 to minus 7. Okay, so what is the advantage now? The advantage with this kind of representation is that subtraction can be done using addition. Okay, so if I want to do a minus b, okay, what I can do is I can just add a plus b complement. So a minus b is nothing but a plus b complement, one's complement of b. So if I have a circuit that does only addition, I can use the same circuit to do subtraction also. So that simplifies my overall system. The same circuitry can be used for both purposes, simplifying system. What is the drawback? Drawback is again the same drawback that we have got with sign magnitude representation, where 2-bit combinations are being used up for representing the same 0. Right? So 2 different patterns represent 0. Therefore, 1-bit pattern is not being utilized. It could have been used to represent some other digit instead of 0. So that is the drawback. Let us take one example. Subtraction using addition with one's complement. Okay, as I said, if you want to compute a minus b, you have to compute a plus b prime. Okay, there is one rule that you have to remember when you are doing this kind of subtraction. So you're using addition to do the subtraction, right? And when you do that, if you get a carry, okay, you have to add that carry back to the original result and then take the final result. Okay, so that is called as end around carry. So whenever you get a carry after this addition, it indicates that the result is a positive number. Okay, if you don't get a carry, then you need not do anything. The result is already in the one's complement form. So that means the result is already a negative number and it's already in its one's complement form. So one additional operation you need if there is a carry. Okay, so let us take an example of both the cases when you have a no carry and when you have a carry. So let us take the first example. There is no carry. Okay, that is, so let us try this. A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 6. What is the result then? A minus B will be minus 4. Okay, so this is what you expect. How do you do this? A is a 0, 0, 1, 0. B is 0, 1, 1, 0. So A minus B will be A plus B prime. B prime will be all bits complemented. So 1, 0 is 1, 1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, 0 becomes 1. So B prime is 1, 0, 0, 1. So what is A minus B then? 0, 0, 1, 0 plus 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, I do this operation. 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay, so there is no carry. Okay, if there is no carry after computing A plus B dash, the result is a negative number, right? So you have 1 as the first bit, which is indicating that it's a negative number already. Okay, and the result is already in its one's complement form. Okay, so 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 is nothing but minus 4. Okay, so this is a negative number. How do you see that? The first bit is 1, so this is a negative number. Then if you want to know the actual value, all you need to do is take the magnitude part and complement it, right? 1, 0, 0. Okay, so which is nothing but 4, right? So therefore, your 1, 0, 1, 1 is already the negative number of minus 4 in one complement. So there is very easy operation here. Let us take the other example when you get a carry. Okay, so instead of 2 minus 6, let us say 6 minus 2. What do you get? You want to get 4, that is your answer. Let us see this operation. A is equal to 6, so A is equal to 0, 1, 1, 0. B is equal to 2, so therefore B is equal to 0, 0, 1, 0. So 1's complement of B is 1, 0, 1, 1. So I have to now do A plus B prime. So 0, 1, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, 0, 1. This is going to give me 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 is 1, 0. So 0 with 1 carry. Again, 1 plus 1 is 2, 0 with 1 carry which comes out. So this is the result. So I have a carry here, right? I am getting a carry here, 4 bits, and then a carry. So what do I do with the carry? Add the carry back to your result. So add the carry back to this one. This one and add it back. Okay. So what is the result now? 1 plus 1 is 2, so 0 and 1 carry. Again, 1 plus 1 is 2, so 0 and 1 carry. 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 is anyway 0. Okay. So this one is anyway taken out, so I need not bother about it again. So this is the result. What is 0, 1, 1, 0? 0, 1, 0, 0. 0, 1, 0, 0, we already know it is plus 4. Okay. So this is the end around carry rule. Okay. This is what you have to remember. If there is a carry with 1's complement. Okay. So what is the advantage of 1's complement? As I said, subtraction can be done by addition. What is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is that 2-bit combinations are used up for 0. When you compare 1's complement method with 2's complement system, which we are going to see soon now, you will understand that 2's complement system has another advantage in the sense that this end around carry problem is not there. Okay, we will see that when we go to arithmetic operations using 2's complement. So let us first try and understand what is 2's complement representation. Positive integer, there is no change. Okay, a positive integer is represented by a 0 followed by the magnitude n, no change. Negative integer minus n is represented by the 2's complement of n. Okay, how do you define 2's complement? 2's complement is defined as 2 to the power of n minus n. Okay, what is 1's complement? 1's complement was 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus n, right? So here it is 2 to the power of n minus n. So clearly 2's complement is nothing but 1's complement plus 1. Right? You add 1, which is 1's complement plus 1. So you get 2 to the power of n minus 1, which is your definition for 2's complement. So 2's complement is nothing but 1's complement plus 1. Let's take the 2's complement example for n is equal to 4. Any number, let us say 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay, so what should be the 2's complement? 1's complement plus 1. So 1's complement we know is just bit by bit complementing. So this will be 1, 0, 0, 1. You need to add 1 to this, which will be 1 plus 1 is 2, so 0 and 1 carry 1, 0, 1. Right? So 1, 0, 1, 0 is the 2's complement representation of minus 6. Okay, so that is what we find. 1, 0, 1, 0 is the 2's complement representation of minus 6. Okay, what is the operation here? Operation is as we have defined 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus n. So 16 minus 6, which is 10. 10 is nothing but 1, 0, 1, 0. All right, so 1, 0, 1, 0 is the 2's complement representation of minus 6. You can take one more example. Let us say 0, 0, 1, 1. So 1's complement of this will be 1, 1, 0, 0. You have to add 1 to this. So you will get 1, 1, 0, 1. Right? Which is your 2's complement representation for minus 3. Okay, you can check this. Minus 3 is 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay, what is the operation? 2 to the power of n minus 1. Right? So that will be 16 minus 3. That is 13. 13 is simply 1, 1, 0, 1. You can check this. 8 plus 4 plus 0 plus 1, which is 13. All right. So that is the 2's complement representation. Now you can differentiate from 1's complement for the 0 here. To take 0, what is the 2's complement representation for 0 here? For minus 0 here? 1's complement representation, which will be 1, 1, 1, 1, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, 1's complement will be 1, 1, 1, 1, plus 1, right? You add 1. What will you get? 0, 1 carry, 0, 1 carry, 0, 1 carry, 0, 1 carry. Out. You have only 4-bit representation, so this is not anyway used. So you have again 0, 0, 0, 0. So same combination. So minus 0 and plus 0 are being represented by the same bit combination of 0, 0, 0, 0. Therefore, I need not waste 1 bit combination. Okay. Let us look at this combination then. 1, 0, 0, 0. What is this going to represent now according to 2's complement representation? 1, 0, 0, 0 means it's a negative number because the first digit is 1. That is fine. Then you are left with 0, 0, 0. Right? So 0, 0, 0 means what is it number? Complement 1, 1, 1. Right? You add 1 to that. This is 7. You add 1 to that, you will get 8. Right? So therefore, 1, 0, 0, 0 is going to represent to minus 8. Right? 1 is telling you that it is a negative number. Right? So you can check this. 1, 1, 1 plus 1. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, you get 1, 0, 0, which is 0, which is minus 8. So 1 is telling you that it's a negative number. And so this number is, this bit combination can be used to represent minus 8, which could not be done with your 1's complement representation or sign and magnitude representation. So this bit combination can be used. What is the operation here? I mean, so that is also very easy to see. 16 minus 8, which is 8. 8 is simply 1, 0, 0, 0, right? So the operation is also very straightforward. So therefore, 1 bit combination extra you are getting, and so your range is now more. Okay, so let me erase all this so that I can read this statement. So in an n-bit system, the number 1 followed by all zeros represents minus 2 to the power of n minus 1, which is minus, for a 4-bit case, it will be minus 2 to the power of 4 minus 1, will be minus 8. Okay. For a 3-bit system, it will be minus 2 to the power of 3 minus 1, which will be minus 4. Okay, and so on. For a 6-bit or 8-bit, it will be minus 2 to the power of 7. All right. So let us look at negative 0 in the statement. We have already seen what negative 0 is. What you get when you do negative 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. If you want to have a negative 0 representation from 2's complement, you take 1's complement and add 1. So 1's complement for this will be 1, 1, 1, 1. You add 1, you will get 0, 0, 0. Okay. So same bit pattern, 1 extra bit can be represented. It's an advantage of 1's complement. So this is the summary of all the negative integers. Positive integers are same for all the representation. Negative integers are completely different. Okay, you can see sign magnitude, 2's complement, 1's complement. These are all given in one place for your easy reference. There is another point to note here. See, suppose I ask you this question. When you want to find the 2's complement representation, your definition is what? N star is equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1. So can you do this directly with binary numbers? So what I'm asking is, suppose you have an n-bit system. Okay. So if you have an n-bit system, can you do this operation? Right. So if you want to do this operation, what do you need? You need to represent 2 to the power of n, right? So can you represent 2 to the power of n with n bits? The largest integer that you can represent will be 2 to the power of n minus 1, right? But with n bits. For example, if your n is 7, then the largest integer will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That is 2 to the power of 7 minus 1. So if you want to represent 2 to the power of 7, 7 bits are not enough. you need one more bit. 8 bits are necessary. Okay. So therefore, to avoid this, we write the equation. We rewrite the equation like this. I subtract 1 and add 1. Okay. So this I can represent 2 to the power of n minus 1. I can represent. So I can do this operation and then I will add 1. Okay. So that is also one of the reasons for using 2's complement representation over 1's complement representation. So if you can take, we have seen some examples earlier of what these 2's complement representations are for 4-bit numbers. So let us take 1 or 2 more examples with more number of bits. So this is n is equal to 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So 2 to the power of n minus 1 will be, how many bits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So all 1, so 7, 1. Okay. So this is minus n. So 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus n will be this. So 1, 0 is 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So this is my 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus n, which is nothing but your 1's complement, right? Just complement each of these bits. Okay, plus 1. That is what you want to do, right? You want to take your 2's complement, right? So you take this and then add 1. Then you will get your 2's complement here, n. Okay, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 plus 0 plus 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so this is one more example. You can take any number of such examples. Okay, and just for your practice, you can try them. Okay, there is one more way. Okay, so you need not do all this operation like take 1's complement and then add 1 and all that. What you can do is instead you can start from the right. So given any number, okay, given any number, you start from your right side. Okay, leave any zeros that are there and leave the first one. Okay, and then complement the other. So if you do that, what are you going to get? You're starting from right and leaving all the zeros and the first one. So I'm going to do 0, 0, and 1. These are the first 3 digits, and then I will complement the rest of them. So 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so that is n star. So that is an easier way to write n star instead of taking, complement each of them and do an addition and then, getting the right, the final answer. This is a slightly easier way to do. Okay, you take another example. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So right from the right side. So what is the 2's complement? 0, 0, 0. First one I'm leaving, and then I'm complementing the other 1, 0. Okay. So that is the n star that I can write directly. Okay. So this is what is it. So this second method is easier for implementation for hand calculation. All right. So most of the computers use 2's complement representation to store negative numbers because of its inherent advantages. So similar to your 1's complement case, in the 2's complement representation also, subtraction can be done by using addition. And the other advantage is that you have a unique representation for 0. So this is obviously going to lead to substantial saving of circuit in this one. Okay, and this is going to give you a higher range. Okay, so now there are a few more advantages which are not directly seen, but if you observe carefully, we can understand that if you see these points. The first point is this representation is actually a weighted number representation, but with MSB having a weight minus 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so what do I mean by this? So 0, 1, 0, 1 is a positive number 5. We know this. 1, 1, 0, 1 is a, what is its value? Its value is negative number minus. Okay, so directly, how do you get this? If you look at the weighted number system like this. So what are my weights? 2 power 0, 2 power 1, and so on, up to n minus 1 bit. Okay, 0 to n minus 1 bit. The weights are increasing like this. For the MSB, the weight is minus 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so that is what you have to remember. So this is the nth bit. Nth bit is your MSB. So, sorry, 0. This is first bit, second bit, third bit. Okay, yeah. So this is nth bit. Nth bit is if it is nth bit, this has to be, this is the first bit, right? And so on. Yeah, so this is the nth bit, and the weight for that will be minus 2 to the power of n minus 1. You can easily understand it. So you take the weights for the positive number. What is the first bit? The MSB. MSB is 0. So 0 into 2 to the power of n minus 1. So how many bits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bits, right? First bit to nth bit, and it's 4 in this case. So 4 bits are there. 0 into minus weight. So minus is important. Into 2 to the power of 3 plus 1 into 2 square plus 0 into 2 power 1 plus 1 into 2 power 0, which is nothing but 4 plus 1, which is 5. You can take any other number. Let us say minus 3 that is shown here. So what will be the value? Let us move from right to left, which is more easy. 1 into 2 power 0 plus 0 into 2 power 1 plus 1 into 2 power 2 plus minus 1 into 2 power 2. Right? So minus 8 plus 4 plus 1, which is minus 3. Okay. So given any number in 2's complement representation, you can find it equivalent, decimal equivalent. Okay. So this is actually a weighted number representation, but with MSB having the weight minus 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay. We can take, for example, let us take this one, minus 5. 2's complement representation is 1011, right? So what is its value? 1 into 2 power 0 plus 1 into 2 power 1 plus 0 into 2 power 2 plus minus 1 into 2 power 3. Right? So minus 8 plus 1 plus, but minus 8 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to minus 5. You can check for other values also. So 2's complement representation is a weighted number representation with MSB having a different weight. Yes. Okay. Then let us look at one more property. If you shift left by k position with 0 padding, then you can multiply the number by 2 power k. Right? What do I mean by this? Let us take this number. Okay. Its value is plus 19. Okay. How do I get this? These are all zeros, no problem. So this will be 1, 1. This will be 2, plus 4 is not there, 8 is not there, 16 plus 16. It is equal to 19. So this number is equal to 19. If you shift left by k position with 0 padding, it multiplies the number by 2 power k. Okay, so let us see what is happening. So what I'm doing, I'm shifting by 1 bit here. Okay, so everything is shifted by 1 bit. So what am I having then? 1 1 0 0 1 0 0. So I have so 1 0 is shifted out. Okay, so this is shifted out. So this is my number now with a 0 here, right? And what am I doing? I'm putting a 0 flag in here. This is 0. So what is this new number? Look at its value. It will be 2 4 32, right? Which is equal to 38. So when you shifted the number by 1 position, what happened to the value? It has become equal to 2 power 1 into 19, right? Let us shift it by one more number. Okay, I have shifted it left by one more, this number. So this 0 is now gone, and I have padded with another 0 on this side. So what is my number now? 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 from right to left. So what is this value? 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 64, right? Which is nothing but 76. What is 76? 2 power 2 into 19, right? 4 into 19. So shift left by one position and you can multiply by 2. Let's take one more example. 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1. What is its value? 1 2 4 8 16 32 64, and this is minus, right? 2 power n minus 2 power n minus 1. So this is minus 128. So what is this value equal to? Minus 29, right? 64 plus 32 is 96. 96 plus 3 is 99. Minus 128, which is minus 29. So this is my number. Now I shift left by one position. Okay. So I have shifted it left by one position. This is now gone. All these numbers are shifted and I have added it with a 0 here. So this is my new number. So what is its value? You can check it. This will be again minus 128 plus this will be 64 plus 0 0 0. This will be 4. This will be 2. Okay. Just a second. So this will be minus 128 plus 70, which is minus 58, right? So that is what you get. So you have shifted by one position and you have got 29 into 2. So 2 power 1 into 29. Sorry, minus 29. You got minus 58. You can check others also. Okay. So you shift left by one more position, 2 positions. So you will get minus 128 plus 34 32 plus 3 plus 4, which is nothing but minus 116. Okay. That is 2 square into minus 29. Alright. So therefore, whenever you want to do this multiplication, all you need to do is just shift by the number of positions to left. Number of positions will be determined by how much you want to multiply. So therefore, from the circuitry point of view, we just need shifting this to do this kind of multiplication. Okay, not just shifting towards left. If you shift right by k position, then you can divide by 2 power k. Okay, of course, here you have to do one padding. There you are doing 0 padding. Here you want to do one padding for negative numbers. We will look at an example here. Okay, suppose this is your number 0011010, which is equal to 52. You can do the math. So I am shifting right by one position. Okay, I'm shifting right by one position. This is a positive number, so I'm putting zeros here. It is not, it's anyway not changing the number. So I get 26 now. Okay, so you have 2, 8, 60, right? So 26. So I have divided by 2. If I shift again by one more position to the right, okay, so I shifted by one more position. So this 0 is not there, and putting after 0 here as siding, which I can change the value. So what do I get? 1 plus 2, 4 plus, what is this? 8, right? 12 plus 1, 13. So I have divided by another 2. So when I am shifting right by one position, I am dividing by 50 by 2, 52 by 2, 52 by 2 square, and so on. Once again, I am shifted by one more position, and I get 2 plus 4, which is 6. Okay, 52 by 2. Now this is 13 and this is 6. So when you exactly divide it, what you have to get 6.5, right? The fraction is not taken care of here because you are only looking at integer, so you will get 6. Again, shift by one more position to the right, you will get 3. 1 plus 2. Okay, like again, shift by one more position, you get 1. Okay, well, you should get 1.5. As I said, fraction is not taken care, so you will get 1 for 1.5. So shift right by k positions, and you are going to divide by 2 power k. All right. Let us take a negative number. For negative number, you have to remember that you have to do one padding because it has to remain negative, right? So therefore, the padding has to be 1 because rightmost number has to be 1. Okay, so I am shifting it by one position. So this number is equal to minus 28. I am shifting right by one position. So this is not there. I shifted all of this by one position and added it one place. So I will get minus 14. I can shift by two positions, right? One more position I have shifted with two ones here. I will get minus 7. Do it again, I will get minus 3. It should be minus 3.5 because it's fraction. It will be minus 3. More position, I will get minus 1 and so on. Okay. So division and multiplication by 2 is easily done by shifting the positions by just to the right or left. So that is substantial circuit saving. Next, there is one more thing which may not be very apparent. What you can see is your sign bit can be copied as many times as required in the beginning to extend the size of the number. So this is called as sign extension. So when you are moving from a 6-bit, sorry, from 16-bit to 32 bits to 64-bit and so on, all you need to do is you copy your sign bit as many times as possible and the number will be compatible. Okay, so let us take an example to understand this. In 8-bit representation, this is my number. Okay, one example I am taking 00110000. It is equal to 48. Okay, so if I want to use this in 32-bit system, this has to be represented in 32 bits. All I need to do is whatever is your sign bit is 0 here, you copy it as many number of times as possible. Okay, so here I am copying it so many times, another 24 times, and I am going to get the same number. Right? You can take a negative number also. This is 8-bit representation for some number n, which is equal to minus 93. If I want to use it in 32-bit representation, I can see all I need to do is take the sign bit and copy it as many times as needed. Okay, to extend the size of the number. So this is the number in 32-bit representation. So therefore, sign extension is very easy when you are going to use 2's complement representation. So these are all the advantages with 2's complement. Okay, so now let us see the subtraction with 2's complement. In 1's complement, what did we do? We have taken the 1's complement. If you want to do a minus b, you have taken the 1's complement of b and added it to a. When you had a end around carry, you have taken it out and added it again. And when you didn't have an end around carry, it was a negative number in 1's complement form. So there was an end around carry issue with the 1's complement representation. That issue will not be there with 2's complement representation. Okay. So to calculate c is equal to a minus b, obtain 2's complement of b and add it to a. Okay. Of course, this is when there is no overflow. As I said, we'll come to overflow a little later. So if the carry obtained after addition is 1, ignore it. The result is a positive number. Don't need to do end around carry addition. Else the result is negative number and it is already in the 2's complement form. Okay. So let us take some examples. 6 minus 2 is what we want to do. So what is your answer? Your answer has to be 4, right? So 6 is 0110, 2 is 0010. Therefore, 2's complement of this is, how do I write this? I will leave the zeros and the first one, and then I complement the other 1, 1. Okay, so I get 1, 1, 1, 0. So that is the 2's complement of B star. I will add these two. Okay, so what is the answer? 0, 0, 1, 0, and then I'm getting a carry 1. Okay, so if the carry obtained after addition is 1, ignore it. The result is already a positive number that you want. That is your answer. So I just ignore this and I have got my answer. So my answer is simply 0, 1, 0, 0, which is 4. Okay, so this end around carry issue is not there. Okay. So what are you doing here? See, a plus b star means a plus 2 to the power of n minus b, right? So when you are doing this ignoring of carry, that means you are removing 2 to the power of n, right? So what is this? This carry, when you are ignoring, this is nothing but 2 to the power of n. So you are removing 2 to the power of n from the final result. So what do you get when you remove 2 to the power of n from a plus 2 power n minus b? You get a minus b, right? So therefore, directly you are getting your sum, or for this, or that means you are directly you are getting the difference between a and b. Okay, so that is the advantage with 2's complement representation. You need not do any further operation. Let us take one more example. A is equal to 3, b is equal to 5. So a is equal to 0, 0, 1, 1, b is equal to 0, 1, 0, 1. B star is, so I will leave the first one and complement the other. There are no zeros. So first one I am leaving and complement the other. Okay. So 1011 is B star. So I will now add A and B star, which is going to give me 1110. Okay. What is the value? You can check this. -8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0, which is minus. That is what you want. 3 minus 5 is -2. Okay. So again, you're directly getting your answer, right? So when your the result is a negative number and it's already in the two's complement. Okay, there is no carry, right? There is no carry. This is not a carry. Okay, this is the last digit. So you are already getting your result in two's complement. So again, straightforward subtraction. Let us take one more example. A is equal to 2, B is equal to B is equal to 6. So your answer should be -4. When you do the subtraction, A is 0010, B is 0110. So B star will be, what is B star? I will leave 0, I will leave the first one, and then I will complement the other. So I will get 1010. That is my B star. Okay, so B star is 1010. I will add B star to A to get A minus B. Okay, I will do this addition and I will get 1100. So obviously your first bit is 1, so it's a negative number and it's already in its 2's complement form. You can check this. So this is -8 plus 4 plus 0 plus 0, which is -4. Okay, so you already got your answer of -4 in 2's complement. So subtraction using addition with 2's complement is very easy to do. It is the reason, these are all the reasons why 2's complement is preferred over 1's complement representation. Now let us look at the overflow. Okay. So overflow is said to occur when the result of an operation exceeds the allowed range. That's what we have said earlier, right? So that means the result will need more than n bits for its correct representation. When can overflow occur? It can occur only when the sign of the two numbers is same, right? If one is negative number and another is a positive number, okay, then when you're doing this addition, the result will be within the range only. I'm talking about 4-bit representation, okay, so it will be within the result only because the answer is +1. It is going to stay inside. When can you get overflow? When you have, let us say, -4 and -6. Okay, so then what is your answer? Your answer should be -10. Both the signs are same, and your answer is -10, which is out of the range. Okay. Similarly, if you want to add +6 and +5, if you want to do in this addition, your answer is +11, again out of range. So overflow can occur when sign of the number is same, or sign of the sum is different from the sign of either of the number. Okay, we will see this also. Let us take an example. Let us say you're taking 4-bit representation. The range is from +7 to -8. I'm taking A is equal to 6, B is equal to 5. Okay. So what is A? 0110. B is 0101. Okay. So what is my A plus B? A plus B is, as per this addition, it is going to be 1011. Okay. Now what is 1011? It's a negative number, right? Because the first digit is 1. Right? In 2's complement representation, this is going to be a negative number. So obviously your answer is wrong because you know that your answer is a positive number 11. Okay, it cannot be represented. So that means you are getting an overflow when you do this operation. So this is the wrong answer. Let's take one more example. A is equal to -6 and B is equal to -3. Okay. So negative number A is -6, so its value is 1010. B is -3, so it is 1101. Okay. These are very easy operations. I am not wasting any more time on this. You can check whether these are right or wrong. So A plus B is what? What do you get for A plus B? 1, 1, 1, 0, and 1. Okay, so you have a 4-bit representation. So when you are doing this addition, what are you getting? You are getting 0, 1, 1, 1, which is a positive number, right? So again, you are getting a wrong answer. So this is another case where you are getting an overflow. Okay. Okay. So recall that overflow occurs if the addition operation produces a result that exceeds the range of the number system. It is detected when the sign of two numbers is the same and the sign of the sum is different from the addend sign. This is the second point that we have not clearly seen. So let us look at this example. You want to do this addition. 7 plus 7 is 14. 5 plus 6 is 11. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. You get 1, 0, 0, 1, which is actually -5, right? You do this addition. What do you get? You will get 1, 1, 1, 0, which is -2, Again, a wrong answer. Okay. So sign of the sum is different from the addend sign. What is this? Positive, but you are getting a negative, right? These are positive, but you are getting a negative sign. So obviously an overflow is occurred. Sign of the sum is different. Similarly here, both these are positive, but you are getting a negative value. So clearly this is a overflow. That is the second point that I was talking about. You take another example, -8 plus -8. Now -8 plus -8, you can do that, right? Because in 2's complement representation, the range is from -8 to +7, right? So -8 and -8 I can add. I can't do this in 1's complement because in 4-bit representation, 1's complement range is only from -7 to +7. So -8 plus -8 is -16. You do this addition, you will get 0, 0, 0, 0. 1 is out of range, which is the 6th bit, which is not there because you are using the 4-bit representation, which is 0. Okay. So clearly, this is a problem. Again, look at this one, -3 and -6. You're getting -9. We know that this is out of range. This is also an overflow. You can check this 1101 plus 1010. Okay, 2's complement representation. I'm getting 0, 1, 1, 1. So this is a positive number, while these two are negative numbers. So obviously you're getting an overflow, which is a wrong answer. Okay, so this is the wrong answer of +7. So therefore, with these additions, overflows will occur, and you have to be careful not to go out of the range. Okay, you can check this with 1's complement also. As I said, overflow can occur with 1's complement representation. So suppose you want to do this, -5 plus 6. Okay, in 1's complement, what is this? This will be 1, 0, 1, 0, and this will be, of course, a positive number, so 0, 1, 1, 0. So when you do this operation, what are you getting? 0, 1 plus 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 1 carry, 1 plus 1, 0 with 1 carry, 1 plus 1, 0 with 1 carry. In 1's complement, what do you do? There is an end around addition, right? So this carry is added to the number again. So what do you get? 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. No problem. -5 plus 6 is +1. -5 minus 6. So this will be 1, 0, 1, 0. -6 will be 1's complement of this. So that should be 1, 0, 0, 1. If I do this addition now, I will get 1, 1, 0, 2, 1. Right? So this one is 1 end around carry. I do this. What do I get? 0, 1, 2, 1. Right? What is this value? This is a positive number, obviously, and this value is equal to +4. So this is a wrong one. Okay, because your answer, is -11, and you are getting an overflow, right? Because the result is positive, and your numbers, both the numbers are negative. So this is how you have to look for overflow, and you have to detect whenever an overflow occurs. Okay, so when you are doing this operation, let us say -a plus b in 1's complement. What are you doing? 1's complement means 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus a plus b, right? So when you're doing this end around carry, what exactly are you doing? You're subtracting this carry out. So that means you're subtracting 2 power n. And then what are you doing? You're adding 1 to this number, right? So you're subtracting 2 power n and adding 1. Okay. So whatever result you got, to that result, you're subtracting 2 power n and adding 1. So what is the result? Obviously, it is minus a plus b. Okay. So that is the logic behind your end around carry addition. So this is of course for b greater than a. You can also check the operation of -a minus b. Okay, of course you have to be within the range of overflow. You should not go out of range. So what is this operation? Minus a in 1's complement is 2 power n minus 1 minus a So when you do this operation, what are you doing? You're taking A dash plus B dash, right? That's what you're doing. So what is B dash? 2 power n minus 1 minus B. So when you do end around, what are you doing? You're subtracting 2 power n and adding 1. That is your end around carry operation, right? So when you do this, what are you going to get? I can write like this, right? 2 power n minus 1 minus plus 2 power n minus 1. I've taken these two out minus A plus B, right? This is what I'm getting. To this, I'm adding minus 2 power n plus 1. So that means I'm subtracting this number. So what am I getting? 2 power n minus 1 minus A plus B, which is nothing but A plus B, the complement of this, right? So clearly you can see that this operation is giving you the value of minus A plus minus B. Okay? That is the logic behind your end around carry operation in one complement. All right, thank you. We'll stop here.